This will become critical whenever you deal with know-it-all behavior. Criteria is what unlocks the mind. I remember when I first became conscious of criteria, I was in my office with a couple, it's the end of the visit, everybody's feeling good. She suddenly, spontaneously turns to him and says, "Honey, let's go to the rose gardens." And he says, "Nah." And she says, "Okay." And I say, "Wait a second. What's your intent right now? Why did you bring this up?" She says, "Well, we're feeling close. We've been having a long time. We have an hour before we have to pick up the kids. I thought it'd be nice to spend some quiet time together." He says, "That's a great idea. I want to be outside. Too hot, too buggy. How about the cafe we've been meaning to try?" She says, "Sure." Now, I ask you, studio audience, does she really care about going to the rose gardens? No. She cares about spending time together. Spending time together is intent. Rose gardens, just a way to do it. Why rose gardens? Why not dinner for two or a movie or a cruise? The answer is criteria. Let's think about what the criteria might be in this case. They only have an hour, so there's a time criterion. Maybe geography goes with that since it's on the way home. Maybe there's budgetary criteria, it won't cost anything. Maybe there's atmospheric criteria, it's a romantic, quiet place. And whenever people have an idea, what precedes it is an intent. They then run the intent through the relevant criteria, and out pops the idea. But more often than not, intent and criteria are not communicated. So she just says, "Let's go to the rose gardens," and he thinks, nah. But once he gets time together, he understands the intent, he throws in a few more criteria, and it becomes the cafe. But think about this. What if they don't know each other's criteria? What if she wants a romantic, quiet place and the cafe is a noisy dive? Then if he does not know her criteria, he will not understand why she rejects the cafe and says rose gardens. She doesn't know his criteria. She doesn't understand why he rejects rose gardens, again says cafe. And that's how it works. It's an everyday communication trap we fall into. We don't specify intent or criteria. We just say rose gardens, cafe, rose gardens, cafe, rose gardens, cafe, rose gardens, cafe. And there goes a good piece of work I just did. But I've discovered in life there's always a bright side. At least I get to do another visit with them. In fact, when I work with couples, I start to act like the officials in a hockey game. Let them fight for a while. All right, you two. Penalty, schedule next week. Ching. But once they find all the criteria, they come up with a compromise. It's not a compromise. You always know it's time for criteria whenever ideas are being discussed or people have a point of view. You know it's time to specify criteria. Another mental